In 1975, Gene Hackman was living the dream. Having worked as a supporting character actor for many years, Hackman was 41 when asked to play the volatile New York cop, Jimmy Popeye Doyle.
All right, Popeye's here. Get your hands on your heads, get off the bar and get on the wall.
Before he knew it, Hackman had fame, an Oscar, and a leading man's career.
Have you ever been in Poughkeepsie? You've been in Poughkeepsie, haven't you? I want to hear it! Come on!
Yes, I've
You've been there, right?
Yeah.
You sat on the edge of the bed, didn't you? You took off your shoes, put your finger between your toes and picked your feet, didn't you? That's it!
Yes! All right. Now, I'm going to bust your ass for those 3 bags, and I'm going to nail you for picking your feet in Poughkeepsie.
The French Connection was something of a blockbuster. The gritty thriller cost $2.2 million to produce and would go on to gross a whopping $75 million.
Absolute dynamite.
At the 1972 Academy Awards, it would also win Best Picture and Best Director for the legendary William Friedkin.
Jimmy, you wasted 2 months on this. No collars are coming in while you 2 guys are running around town jerking off. Now go back to work!
Based on the exploits of narcotics detectives Eddie Egan and Sonny Grosso, the film followed Doyle and his partner Buddy Cloudy Russo as they smash a heroin deal with the Frenchman Charnier. The heroin is recovered, but Charnier isn't. As with his real-life counterpart, Jean Jahan, the frog managed to escape, ending the film on a typically downbeat 70s note, as well as a random gunshot. If in doubt, end on a gunshot. French Connection 2 finds Popeye traveling to Marseille in pursuit of Charnier. This unlikely development is our first clue that the sequel is entirely fictional.
You speak English? Speak English?
He's also missing a partner, as Roy Scheider was too busy blowing up sharks to come back. Rumor has it that Russo would have died at the hands of Charnier's men early in the film, giving Popeye a thirst for revenge. Replacing him is a local inspector, Henri Barthelme, played by Bernard Fresson, who develops a bizarre relationship with Doyle as he runs the gamut from outright disgust to begrudging respect.
Doyle, James, 60 kilos of heroin. It was a big arrest. 5 people killed. Seems quite a lot.
Hold it!
I know that the dope that comes out of this city has killed a lot more than I have.
As fate would have it, the directorial reins passed to one of Friedkin's idols, John Frankenheimer. Friedkin even tried, unsuccessfully, to get the legend to back out.
Well, I sent John an 8-page handwritten letter begging him not to do French Connection 2. I begged him not to do it. I said, John, you are such a master. You're so great, and they're going to compare your film to mine, and it's going to be found wanting. I don't care what it is. Because that, the French Connection had been so overpraised and lauded.
Frankenheimer had a few reasons for saying yes. His recent work had flopped. He had a good track record with thrillers, and he knew France well. As a result, the Marseille Doyle arrives in feels authentic, and the filmmaker takes great pleasure in his fish-out-of-water scenario. The audience feels just as off-kilter as Popeye, with Frankenheimer even neglecting to place subtitles over the French dialogue. However, the director makes a few mistakes. The first film thrived on Friedkin's docudrama style, and the handheld, realistic photography is replaced with something more formal, though no less gritty. The French Connection also avoided sets, whereas French Connection 2 takes place on well-lit sound stages.
Look, I'd rather be a lamppost in New York than the president of France, but I came over for one thing and one thing only, that's to get Charnier, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Though a more conventional film, Frankenheimer still injects the proceedings with powerful drama. After being kidnapped by Charnier's men, Popeye is hooked on heroin to make him talk.
I must say, Mr. Doyle, that you were the one person I did not want to see again.
Up your ass, Charnier.
His harrowing scenes of withdrawal have divided critics. Some feel it brings the film to a screeching halt, whereas many others are blown away by Hackman's performance.
Two men were looking for you full time.
If I had 52 men looking for somebody, I'd find them in 3 hours in New York.
Yes, but Marseille is not New York.
Yeah, you're goddamn right it is.
Hackman felt that too much time had passed between films and wasn't too enthusiastic about the idea, but he was contractually obligated to appear. Luckily for him, the finished film would exceed his expectations.
You owe me one.
Fernando Rey is the only other returning cast member, and he's typically given more screen time to play with. We don't learn much more about him, but Rey delights in playing the cultured villain, always one step ahead of the authorities.
A place to meet after you have made the delivery.
How's New York?
You know better than that, William. New York is hazardous to your health.
The French Connection was justly famed for its signature car chase, which had Popeye pursuing a hitman on an elevated train, and Frankenheimer, to his credit, doesn't even attempt to top it. In its place is a shootout in a dry dock and an extended foot chase across Marseille that truly brings the house down. Popeye's frenzied pursuit of Charnier is the perfect capper to this grim saga.
French Connection 2, the only film that could follow the French Connection. When Gene Hackman created the character of Detective Popeye Doyle in the French Connection, his performance won the Academy Award for Best Actor. In 1971, the French Connection won the Academy Award for Best Picture of the Year. Only one film could follow it. Gene Hackman in French Connection 2.
French Connection 2 wasn't as successful as its Oscar-winning predecessor, managing to make only $12.5 million on a $4.3 million budget. However, the critical response was largely positive, and 50 years later, it is seen by many as a worthy companion piece.
You carry no gun, I hope. You know, it's illegal for foreigners, even policemen.
No, no gun. I'm strictly by the book. You read my file, right?
That's why I asked.
As thoroughly unnecessary sequels go, this one's definitely worth a shot.
Charnier?